Hello there, friends. It's Rosie. I have wanted to film a video all week, and you know what? Head empty, full of cotton candy. So have not had any real ideas for a hot second, and I figured might as well just do like low stakes, very chill video to get through this hump and keep moving forward. But I am going to do a little get ready with me. I'm just doing a very basic, like, everyday makeup that I wear. So this can be just like my everyday makeup routine in case anyone cared. Just chat with you about everything that's going on in life. Hopefully, you know, loosen these creative blockages and see what we come up with. I feel like I got a lot to talk about because I have some hot takes recently about stupid things that are happening in my life. So here they are. I'm gonna be doing my makeup. I would do it in the bathroom. Actually, no, I wouldn't. Actually, yeah, no. The bathroom has terrible lighting, so that's why I'm doing it here in front of my window. But all of my makeup is in my second drawer in my bathroom, and it's just actually a disaster right now. So I really need to get in there and like organize that. My bathroom is always the last thing that I want to organize, which kind of like, I don't know, doesn't make a lot of sense because I would think that I would want to organize it the most because I use it the most, you know? So I would put on primer, but I don't anticipate leaving my home today, so I won't be doing that. But if I were to put on primer, it would be the Milk Hydro Grip. I have no opinion on primer, ever, actually. I tried that Tatcha one that was really popular, like quite a few years ago, and I thought it worked good. It seems fine, but I don't know. I feel like when I'm out and about, I'm not noticing whether or not my makeup is sliding off my face. So like, I just have no threshold for what's a good primer or not, because when I come home, I just take it all off. I don't look at what it looks like. So I don't know, but that one I've used before and it's pretty good, and it came in a gift set. So that's what I'm using now. But next, I'm only gonna do concealer because once again, I'm not going anywhere. But this is the Milk Future Fluid. It's honestly the best concealer I've had in a long, long time. I was gonna use the viewfinder, but you're a little far away. Also, obviously, I'm like on my bed, so this is all a very precarious situation. Is that a mirror? Oh, nice. I've had this for like 6 to 8 months. I'm such an observant person. Anyways, I at least know where this goes, and I'll blend it out in the mirror. But yeah, what shall we talk about? Recently, life has been terrifying and scary and whack, but also good and exciting, and like, you know, just really encompassing the whole of the human experience, if you will. I just had a very exciting March. 3 friends visit us, and it was so much fun. And it was such a good time, and we really did like a lot of things that I've been meaning to do for a long time, you know? So that was good. And on top of that, I spent a lot of time with like my actual Denver friends. And I feel like really 2023 so far has been very good at solidifying like that I live here, if that makes sense. Like last year just sort of like didn't feel real. And I also went home a lot because I left last March, and then I came back in May for my brother's graduation. And then also over the summer we went to Texas to visit Kennan's family, and then in September we went back to New York for funsies. And then also again in December I went back to New York for like 2 weeks, and in November we went to New Orleans. So essentially we were gone a lot last year, which was great, but also like not very good at establishing a life in a brand new place. Really, without my bookstore job, I would have no friends right now. So that's a plus. So it's been fun to like really, I feel like, settle down and like hang out with people frequently and build those relationships. So I've been very grateful for that. Overall, yeah, that's about as crazy as we gotta get right now. This is the MAC Paint Pot in Bear Study. Very classic OG YouTube moment, please. I always wanted to be a beauty guru, and here I am giving it a go. But yes, so it's been very fun to hang out, see more of Denver, enjoy it. And I, last year around this time, was like very scared that I was gonna end up regretting my move. Hello? Oh, thank you. Oh, we learned a new call and response. Ready? Womp, womp, womp.
Hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, yeah, yeah.
Thank you. I love you. But read that way.
Uh-oh.
The ghost of James Charles. No! No! No.
Come on. You can't be in here anymore. Forever. Permanently.
I'll talk about the dog in a minute. But, mukbang break. But yeah, essentially for the last year, I've been kind of like, well, what if I realize I was not happy and I want to go back to New York? And like, I visited New York a lot, and it sort of has instilled in me that I did very much enjoy living there, but I've always wanted to live out of state. Like, that's something I've wanted since I was a kid, and I'm glad I took the opportunity to do it. This is certainly not a forever place, but it is a good step in the right direction. It's really good. Thank you. I am going home to New York the week before my birthday, which is very exciting. It's gonna be a very quick trip. I am excited to see my family and my friends like in person for my birthday, because I didn't get to last year, like my home friends. So that'll be so fun because I get to have the best of both worlds. April 30th, and I'm coming back to Denver May 6th, and then my birthday is May 7th. So I'm gonna have a party there, and I'm gonna have a party here, and it's gonna be lit as hell. It is a very quick trip. It just so happened that I have tickets for the McElroy brothers in Denver on April 29th that were moved from last October, and I just didn't know about them until recently, and I was like, oh, cool. And then the next day I'm leaving. Otherwise it would have been a bit of a longer trip, but it is what it is. But yeah, I'm excited nonetheless to see my friends, see my family, and touch sand, touch water. I know everyone's like touch grass, but this bitch needs to touch some sand. I miss it. And it'll be so nice to be there like when it's nice out and not disgusting like in the winter when I was there last. So that'll be great. But yeah, so like I said, my birthday's coming up, and that'll be exciting and fun. I want to do another week-long upload where I upload every day for my birthday, but like the way we're working right now, my brain is like not functioning with me, but also it has been a rather stressful couple of weeks. So I'm hoping that it's just that, and we'll get back on with it soon. Because I have a lists and lists of ideas of things I want to film, but that like they just, as I look at them, none of them are like, oh, let's film this now, you know? So I'm making myself break out of that. I'm doing this. Let me finish eating this, and then I'm gonna tell you about the dog, Mr. Egg Nasty. Alrighty then. I have the Tartelette, I'm pretty sure it's the In Bloom palette. I've had it for a long time. I couldn't tell you how long. Definitely since college, maybe since high school. I'm unsure about that fact. But I use like the same 3 colors over and over again. As you can see, only one has hit pan. That one. So I'm probably gonna use that one today. It matches Bare Study paint pot. So who doesn't love a shimmery gold? Anyways, back to the dog. As you guys know, I have, oh, this is Wishful. This is just like a cream base. As you guys know, I have a little, he's about 6 months old now, which is crazy. A little 6-month-old puppy named Iggy, who's a mini Aussie shepherd mixed with a poodle. So his energy levels are rather high, and yeah, so he loves to bite. We're practicing on training him, and he's getting better about the biting part at least, but for whatever reason his bowel movements have just continually decreased in control. So recently he's been eating entire rolls of toilet paper and having diarrhea attacks in the middle of the night, which has been horrible for him and us. But we can correlate it directly with when he's eating entire rolls of toilet paper, so we're not too concerned about, you know, actual health problems. But I just booked him his first like intake vet appointment for this Thursday, so hopefully anything that's going on we'll be able to catch, and hopefully there isn't anything going on, he's just being a little bitch, and we can fix that. I'm using Reflect, which is that one I showed you before. but he has been just like peeing and pooping everywhere. So much so that the rug we had in our dining room, which is now Iggy's room, we had to throw it out because we couldn't get all of the pee and poop out of it. It just like wouldn't come out. And so he thought, you know, he smells it and he's like, oh, I can pee here. This is a place I can go to the bathroom. No. So we had to throw that out. And then yesterday, he was snuggling with me perfectly fine for an hour on this bed. And then out of nowhere, he just gets up and he looks me in the eye. I'm like, what's wrong? What are you doing? Then I noticed he's pissing directly on my bed, looking me in the eye. So he peed through the duvet cover, through the duvet, through the sheets, onto the sheet protector. Thank God. Sheet protector, bed protector. I know sheet protector are like the little plastic guys for a binder, but I don't know. The waterproof thing underneath the sheets. And he also peed on my and he also peed on my Barefoot Dreams blanket. So like, fuck that guy, man. So I don't know if you could tell, I have like 3 different sets of sheets on my bed right now. Different shams on the pillows, different sheets, different comforter. Because that's all in the wash. So yeah, it's been just particularly frustrating, and I feel like we can't ever have one entirely good day. And I know he's a puppy and I know he's gonna grow out of it, but God, it just like, I feel like I can't relax. I always have to be on alert for the dog. And I know that that's part of what I signed up for, but I'm still getting used to it. And so I've been quite frustrated lately with that, that aspect of my life. And I'm very much looking forward to going home to New York, where I don't have to clean up poop and pee for a whole week. Because my parents' dog, Marley, is actually house trained. Crazy. But yes, so the dog's been just a little much, and we're trying to figure out how to deal with it. I'm hoping, I also need to get into a groomer. I tried to make him a groomer's appointment, but I want to make sure he's up to date on all his vaccinations, because I have the papers from when I adopted him, and quite honestly, they're very confusing. Like, it just lists all his vaccinations. It says, yes, he needs this, no, he doesn't. Or like, come back in 6 weeks, or blah, 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 blah. And I can't tell whether he got them or not. So I'm just gonna show him all to the vet. And he's 6 months old now, so he's gonna need another round of shots anyway. So I figured this is a good time to figure out what he needs, when he needs it. And, oh, this is Fresh Start, which is just like, hey, that's you. Fresh Start is just this guy right here. Hopefully we'll be making some good Iggy moves by the end of April. What else is going on? Job hunting. What a nightmare. Without naming names, I have been in the interview process for one job since the last week of January. So that has been 3 entire months now, going on 3.5. And I was supposed to hear back from them latest 2 weeks ago. And so I did hear back from them. The job was full-time, different company and everything. Like, I would be transferring everything to a brand new company, learning a whole new set of skills, whatnot. And they just kept putting it off, putting it off. A bunch of people were on PTO over the past month or so. That has been my main issue, I have found, because nobody answers their freaking emails. But yeah, so I was waiting on that, and all the interviews felt like they went really well. They were really good. And I found out, oh, the lady who had initially been interviewing me was like, we hired someone else for the position, but we would love for you to continue in the interviewing process because we have more spots opening up in the same area. I was like, okay, cool. So I finished that interviewing process. It was a total of like 4 or 5 steps. And they were like, great. The hiring manager is going to be on vacation, but we'll let you know in 2 weeks. And 2 weeks was 2 weeks ago. So they come back to me after I emailed them. So the common theme throughout this is I'm emailing everyone consistently. I'm contacting everyone to find out what the hell is going on here. They're not responding to me unless I email them 3 times in a row, which is so unprofessional and so rude. Like, especially if you get me that far along in a process. This job was a lot better about it than the other job I'm going to tell you about, but they at least were responsive and like polite and kind. And they were like, oh, sorry, actually the job doesn't exist yet, and we don't know when it's going to exist. And I was like, huh? Why are you interviewing me then? Why? And they were like, we have every intention of it existing soon, but we have a lot of red tape. They offered me a temp position, freelancing, for exactly what I'm making now, but a harder job. And so I was so frustrated because that was just like not something I saw happening ever. Like it just was not even a part of my plan or the zeitgeist. I didn't think it was a possibility. And so to get that after all of that time and 3 months put in, I was so upset. I was like, oh my God. And I wasn't gonna take it. I was waiting to hear back from one other job that I had also been interviewing for since literally March 1st. Well, February 28th. Yeah. And so over a month, and I was waiting and I kept asking for an update, and they were like, oh, well, the person making the decision isn't back yet. Oh, but they loved you. And literally after the interview I had with them, they were like, they have a really good feeling about this. Like, you were their first interview, but they really liked you, and I think this is gonna go well. From the recruiter. This woman, this recruiter, I know she was trying her best, but God, she went about it all the wrong way, and So the week comes around when I'm supposed to find out about this second job, which is once again a different section of what I'm doing now. So like, I'd be doing something new with a brand new team in a brand new sector, but I was very capable of it. And I was like, okay, the interview went well, I just like need to hear back from this one so I can feel confident saying no to the temp position. And the lady, my recruiter, kept being like, oh, she's back today, but we'll find out soon. And I was like, okay, well, I need to give an answer by Friday for this other one. And she said, okay, well, I definitely don't think she'll make a decision later than Thursday. And this was Wednesday, I think. And I was like, okay, great. And so I was waiting. I literally 5 minutes before I'm about to log off on Thursday, I'm like, hey, any news? I see the recruiter's online. I send the message. Immediately she goes offline. She does not answer. I was like, wow, that's shady. Okay. And the next day, I'm already pissed. I'm like, cool, great. The next day, I get a message from her, very early on at least. She was like, hi, sorry, no update. I'm gonna message her now though. And I was like, thanks. Like, why would you tell me it was gonna be, the decision was going to be made on a certain day if it wasn't? Like, if you don't know, just tell me you don't know. Just don't just leave me on red or tell me a lie. Like, that's just not right. Ugh. Anyways, Rare Beauty eyeliner. She was like, okay, I'll message her and find out. And so very quickly, she's like, all right, I have an update. You're still in their top, but now you're the second choice. So they can't give you an answer today because they need to wait and hear back from their first choice. Huh? Huh? You're gonna tell me that I'm the second choice? No, just tell me you didn't get the fucking job. And I was like just appalled, quite honestly, at how it was. Like, she was like, yeah, you're their second choice. Like, thanks for the transparency, I guess, but that doesn't make me feel good or anything. That doesn't help me get the job. And so she was like, do you still want to be considered just in case? And I was like, yeah, sure, consider me. And I was gonna say no to the temp job no matter what, because I didn't want to make a completely lateral move to a completely different company. So I was like, yeah, I'm turning down this position anyway, so might as well keep me in consideration. Anyways, I say that. She's like, great, wonderful. And I email. At this point, I'm just having a horrible day. I'm like, this is the worst. And this whole week had been just really shitty. In a bunch of different aspects of my life, but this was the major one. And let's try to do some eyeliner real quick. This is like really dry. 1 second, I need a different eyeliner. Okay, I ended up just doing a different eyeliner in the bathroom. This one is the Physicians Formula Eye Booster Ultrafine Liquid Eyeliner. God, just talking about the job thing is giving me agita, clearly. But this was super wet, so now I have to let it dry a little bit. But where was I? Oh yeah, so I was just in like a rancid mood, quite honestly. And I emailed the other job, the one that was giving me the temp position. I was like, thank you so much for considering me, but like this would be a lateral move. I can't do that right now. I appreciate it though, and if the full-time position does become available, please contact me if you're still interested in working with me, because I would love to work with you. You know, trying not to burn any bridges here, even though I was very upset at the fact that like I felt like I was being, you know, strung along for a little while. But I do that, and then one of the women I had interviewed with gets back to me super quickly, and she's like, oh my gosh, we were just talking about you today. Actually, we're finally getting some movement on this position, and we expect someone on our team to be hired for, I don't know, a promotion in the next 2 weeks. And so I will contact you in 2 weeks, hopefully with good news and an open position. And so I was like, great, okay, that's a lot better than the other news I heard today. So very happy about that. I was like, okay, thank you so much, I really appreciate it. And they honestly have been so nice throughout the whole thing, that I was really upset when the temp position thing happened, because I was like, I would love to work with you, but God, I cannot make a same exact move to a brand new company right now. It just doesn't make any sense, to get paid the same thing with no benefits. And yeah, but after that I was like, okay, feeling a little bit better about it. That's fine, I'll just wait for 2 weeks then. Or if this other one gets back to me, that's great. This next week, a whole week has passed. This is the end of that week that I'm filming this currently, and I hear nothing about the job that I was the second choice for. And so I have to message the recruiter once again on Friday and be like, hi, did they like hire someone? Is it still open? Like, you would think after all of the shit we went through, they would at least tell me, yeah, this person's accepted it, don't even think it's an option anymore. No. She responds to me and she's like, oh yeah, someone accepted the position already, but you were their silver medalist. I could have killed her right then and there. I was so like angry. And then she told me she put me up for another job. She put me up for another job that she didn't ask me about first. And she was like, you can apply here though. But I already put your resume in front of the hiring manager, and she's not as responsive, but I'll try my best. And I understand that that's what recruiters are meant to do, but like, don't you think you should probably ask me first if it's a job I'm interested in? Because it was different from the position that I was just interviewing for, and it is not a position I am interested in. So I didn't even respond to that. I didn't even know what to say to that, because I was like, I know you're just doing your job, but God, you're making me angry and like feel like shit. Like, and I know that that's just kind of like how it is in the job hunting world right now. So it's just infuriating that like everywhere this is going on, and the market is just so saturated that you essentially can treat all of your applicants just however you want to treat them, and they'll be lucky if they get a job. But yeah, and so I didn't respond to that. If I get an interview for it, great, but I did not apply because I'm just so tired of it, and we're waiting to hear if there's anything happening with that other position. But as of right now, I have assumed that there are no new jobs anywhere near me in my future, and I have started applying again to other places for other things. So essentially the job saga has been incredibly frustrating for the past few months, and just being pulled around. Oh, also I'm using Hoola bronzer and Cookie highlighter from Benefit. This is like their Earth Signs palette. This came out a couple years ago, but I'm an Earth sign, Taurus girly. But yeah, so that has been like a huge stressor in my life, and just sort of like really bringing me down. That plus, you know, all of the dog stuff making me like, God, I love him, but I'm so frustrated all the time. And then there's this separate frustration, and then there's, you know, stuff going on with my family, and then there's just so much going on, you know? So this past month has been great. A lot of different difficult things going on as well. So that is life, but I just want to leave it all behind. We're in April. I'm pre-gaming for Taurus season. I'm so close to going back to New York and just like partying it up, seeing my family, and then coming here and partying it up and seeing just my Denver friends. And so I'm just looking forward to that at this point. But yeah, and I took the whole week off of work when I'm gonna be home, which I haven't done thus far. I've normally worked while I was there because I'm remote and I don't get any PTO. I'm always like, yeah, I can work, but then I'll take like 1 or 2 days off, but I'm taking the whole week this time because I'm not gonna be there very long. And I just want free time to decompress after this stressful job season. And yeah, that's where that's at. So that's just a fun little update on my life. When it comes to YouTube, I really want to be inspired, and I don't know, I'm just not feeling it, which is so frustrating because I want to feel it, you know. So I'm hoping that comes back. I'm hoping that it has just been frustration in all the aspects of my life blocking me from being able to be creative. And I have some other like longer term videos that I want to film that I'm working on, but those like are gonna take time to execute. So I don't know when they're gonna be done, and I really want stuff that I can just like post soon and post quick. So here's this video. I'm using the Maybelline Sky High Lash Sensational. This stuff freaking rocks. I have not found a better drugstore mascara in possibly my whole life. It is genuinely my favorite. It makes your lashes so like long and skinty. And then I'm a 2 mascara kind of hoe, so I always do 2 different mascaras no matter what. This is the perfect base because I prefer my lashes to be a lot more defined and separate rather than like thick and voluminous. So these guys are like nice and long. Yep. 1 second. We're good. Okay. Doing makeup in places you're not used to doing makeup is hard. Props to anyone who travels a lot and has to do this. I'm gonna use the Milk Makeup Kush Mascara. This has been a favorite since like high school. As my extra, like this is what they look like now. Nice, long, skinty, separated. And this is what they look like with the double mascara, which like, I don't know if you can tell, but it gives extra length and like little wispies on the end, which I really love. And then it sort of clumps up the ends a little bit to make them a little fuller. So big fan. But it has certainly been a frustrating season of life recently. And I feel like all I've done in a lot of combos where I'm catching up with people is like, they'll ask about work, so I'll tell them about the work situation. Then they'll ask about Iggy, and I'll tell them about the Iggy situation. I'm not going anywhere crazy. This is the Kosas Lip Fuel in Flow. It's just a tinted lip balm. The shape is really weird, but looks good. Color-wise. And I don't really do my brows unless I'm going out somewhere because it just feels a little pointless to me. But, yeah. But yeah, I feel like a lot of my conversations recently have been kind of, you know, negative centered, and I don't want to end this video like that. I want to look at the positives and focus on good things. So we are going to list things I'm excited about or good things that have happened recently. Seeing my friends so much. Lots of good books. I gave up on my book ban. It just like wasn't working. And I did it for a little while. But I mean, I love books and I want more. So I started buying books again, and that makes me very excited. And I'm reading The Six of Crows right now by Leigh Bardugo because I saw the TV show come on. I started watching it and I was like, damn, I kind of want to read the books first so that way I can get an idea of the world, and then, you know. I recently started listening to the Magnus Archives, which is a fantastic podcast that has been recommended to me literally for like, how many years now? 8, 7? Because it's super similar to Welcome to Night Vale, which was one of my first favorite podcasts. It was the first podcast I ever listened to, and I'm a big fan. It's like horror, very short, 25-minute episodes. There are a lot of them, but I'm already like at the end of season 2, and I started last week, so that has been perfect. It has been very nice to throw myself into a whole new story and just like have that going on. I love a good story podcast. That's 3 things. 4, the weather's finally getting nice. I don't think it's gonna snow anymore, at least for a little while, but it's like 70 today. It's gonna be like 70s throughout the week, and I'm so excited about that. That's gonna be fabulous. 5, Iggy is very adorable most days. he's adorable every day. Even when he's pissing me off, he's cute. So that's a positive. 6, I get to go to New York soon, and I get time off, which will be well needed, and I think hopefully will help me shake this funk. It's gonna be my birthday, and I love my birthday. I want to make it 10 now. We're close to 10. I have been doing yoga a lot more. I did it, I think, either 3 or 4 times this past week, and it felt good. Like, it just feels nice to like stretch and have movement in my body that isn't just like walking the dog. So that's been great, and honestly the sun makes me want to get outside more too, so like that feels good. And oh, I'm going blonde again next weekend. That's exciting. I'm very excited to do that because here, finished look, this is what I look like. I straightened my hair because it's getting so long, and I'm gonna have to chop some of it next week. I think I have a hair appointment next week at my friend's salon, like that she goes to, and her sister works there, so I'm excited. But I've been my natural color for about a year now, and it was good to like give it a break, but I miss being blonde. It's just so fun. So that's 9. We're so close. 5, I spent no money last week during the work week. I had a low spend week. I was gonna make a video about it, but it ended up being really boring, so I scrapped it because literally it was just me being at home being like, this is what I made for food. I didn't spend anything. This is what I'm doing at night. Still didn't spend anything. Yeah, so it's good for me, but it didn't make particularly compelling content. So now you know, it happened. And yeah, that's 10 things that I'm grateful for or excited for upcoming soon. And yeah. Thank you for chatting along with me. This took a very long time because I'm a chatty Cathy, and I had a lot of shit to say. It just feels good. Just feels good to talk to the camera. Even if I don't know what I want to film next, it's nice to film something. I would love if you would either share something that you love to get ready with, like your current favorite makeup product, or share something you're excited about for the upcoming months for tourist season, baby, because I love tourist season. Thank you so much for watching and hanging out with me. I have my links down below as per usual, and I would love it if you'd subscribe, so that way when I get out of this creative funk, you'll see what fun things come next. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the future. Onwards and upwards, my friends. All right, love ya. Bye.